And now we're continuing with our coverage of Sushant Singh Rajput's death. He was only 34 years old. He was found hanged to death by his own hand in his Bandra residence. His body has been taken for a post-mortem to a Mumbai hospital. There are crowds that have gathered outside his residence in Bandra. In a very short while from now, the Mumbai police is likely to brief the media. I want to go across to India Today's Sahil Joshi, who's with us live from Mumbai. Sahil, what is the Mumbai police telling you? The post-mortem will be conducted at this time. Foul play has been ruled out. No suicide note has been left. Lots of different pieces of information coming together about the mental state of this young superstar. What are you hearing, Sahil? Okay, that line with Sahil has just gotten disconnected, so we'll re-establish that. He's outside the Bandra residence of Sushant Singh Rajput, where a large crowd has gathered. We'll go across to both Tanushree and Sahil in just a moment. Well, Sushant Singh Rajput was only 34 years old. He has died from suicide. He was found hanging inside his Bandra home. Initial reports suggest that the actor was suffering from depression for at least the last 6 months. Some of his friends who were home broke down his bedroom door to find him hanging. The actor, who started off acting in television series Pavitra Rishta, found fame on the big screen too. He garnered huge praise for his role as Indian cricketer MS Dhoni in the blockbuster biopic. Well, just a few days ago, Sushant Singh Rajput's former manager, Disha Salian, had also passed away. It was initially reported as suicide, but it was accidental death. Sushant Singh Rajput had posted a heartfelt note after Disha Salian's death. It's such devastating news. My deepest condolences to Disha's family and friends. May her soul rest in peace. Disha was 28. The police are considering Disha's death as accidental. Investigation is on to find out if it was indeed suicide as originally reported. Let's go straight across to India Today's Sahil Joshi for more. Sahil, what is the police telling you? Are they going to be briefing the press, giving out more details?
See, right now it doesn't look like that police will be briefing at this point of time, because they want to be sure about it after the post-mortem report. Finally, police will be able to arrive at conclusion. But whatever the details what we are trying to give right now are the primary details given by the police and highest authority of the police. We are not, trying to kite fly at this point of time, because it's extremely saddening and shocking story we are talking about. So the first of all, what we know, let me just go through that first. The first thing is that police thinks that it's suicide. There is no foul play. That's what is the police initial remarks. When I spoke to them, that they don't think that it is any kind of a foul play at this point of time. They think that it is a suicide, even though there is no suicide note. But the police has found the details of Sushant Singh Rajput's treatment which he was taking because of his due to his depression. The file of which in which the details of his medication and his sessions with the doctors are also mentioned. So that file police has found. The police is studying that file, that what was the cause of the depression, or if there is anything more they can find out about that. Up with this story for our viewers, that time the police had reached to his residence in the afternoon. So they are investigating from that. From that time they are investigating. So they will have to wait for the post-mortem reports to ascertain certain facts, and only after that police will be able to speak to media. That's what is been told to us at this point of time.
Okay, so we've also got a report from Patna with Sushant Singh Rajput's father. His mother had passed away when he was a teenager, and it was a source of many of his sorrows. He had been depressed about his mother's death when he was just a young boy. His father was his father was living alone at the family home in Patna. Sushant Singh Rajput had quite a few sisters as well. Is there any information coming in about his last rites? Sahil, is the family going to be arriving in Mumbai?
It is likely that his family will be arriving in Mumbai, because the police also told us that some of his friends told the police that his family was supposed to come to Mumbai next couple of days. That's what Sushant has told them. But now that this thing has happened suddenly, so after the post-mortem, whether his body will be kept at the morgue or because right now in Mumbai still it is a lockdown situation. His family will have to fly down to Mumbai for the last rites, and after the post-mortem, body will be handed over. So if his family reaches here, then obviously his family will be part of it. But it doesn't look like right now that the body will be sent to Bihar. But after the police post-mortem, the police will be able to tell us that what exactly his family is going to do. Right now, his family is not here at this point of time, but his friends are around who were with him since the time of his television days, who were at that point of time when this happened at his house at Bandra's Carter Road. So we'll have to wait and see that when the body is handed over to his friends, and then whether his family actually comes down to Mumbai for the last rites. But it's more likely that his family will fly down.
Stay with me, Sahil. Sushant Mehta, our entertainment editor, who's interacted many times with Sushant Singh Rajput, is also with us. Sushant, lots of Bollywood voices have come out. There is a great deal of buzz over Sushant Singh Rajput's mental state that has led to this horrible tragedy in Mumbai. Are you able to piece together more information, Sushant, about why Sushant Singh Rajput may have taken this extreme step?
Well, speaking to many industry bigwigs and many people who knew Sushant over his career, the sense that I'm getting is that he was lonely for the last 6-7 months, sort of isolated himself. What has happened also, Shiv, remember this was a guy who came from television. Ekta just shared a week ago, Ekta Kapoor, saying that, he was my second lead on one show, and we decided to make him the lead on Pavitra Rishta, and then the channel was not ready, but they backed him, they got him, and he was a huge success, and he thanked Ekta on social media about a week ago, and Ekta also messaged love you. From there he comes to films. He tastes success, and with MS Dhoni, what happens is after MS Dhoni became this huge blockbuster, his performance was just beyond belief. It was amazing. He just transformed himself. He actually became Mahendra Singh Dhoni. After that, he never really tasted the same success. Chichore was a big hit last year, but it was a sleeper hit. Nobody really thought that Chichore could do so well at the box office. So there's this young guy who comes in. He becomes a superstar after Mahendra Singh Dhoni. Does not taste the right kind of success, but he was still working. He still had films under his belt. I think his personal demons, mixed with some professional demons, are what led to this great tragedy. And he just went on a very dark path. Remember, Sushant Singh Rajput, extremely fit guy. A master of all trades. From you talk to him about quantum physics, to astronomy, to astrology, to philosophy. He wanted a rich life. He did it all, and just to be 34 and deciding to end his life, obviously everybody is in shock right now. Shiv?
Stay with me, Sushant. I want to just get you some voices from outside Sushant Singh Rajput's residence, where India Today's Tanushri has just had this conversation with some of the people who've assembled there. Let's just take you there.
Just a week back, Sushant Singh Rajput's secretary, his manager, died by suicide is what we were told by the Mumbai police. Now today, suddenly under mysterious circumstances, his body was found hanging inside his residence. Now according to the Mumbai police, Shiv, as of now, let's not go ahead of yourself and makes any guesses. But the Mumbai police is so far telling us that no suicide note or any sort of letter has been discovered from his residence as of now. They are not suggesting any sort of foul play. They are pretty much convinced that Sushant Singh Rajput died of suicide, but as of now it's going to be a high profile case, and they are investigating it thoroughly, and especially because his his secretary also died last week. So this is going to be something which is going to be a very major focal point in the investigation, which the police is going to look into. And this The bike, Shiv, which is standing here right now, belonged to Sushant Singh Rajput, as we have been told here by the guard of this particular building. And just at the back of this big building in Bandra suburb in Mumbai, Sushant Singh Rajput lived. And all the, something very interesting, his guard was just telling us, Shiv, that he used to talk, he was very talkative. He used to talk a lot to all his guards, all his maids, and used to take care of them as well. But in the last 1 month, he wasn't really, he did not look in a good mood, is what his guard, quote unquote, told us. So yes, definitely, the lockdown was very difficult time, and especially for the city of Mumbai, past few months have been extremely difficult. But this kind of a news coming in amidst the corona situation in the city has not just sent shockwaves, I think is a very, very tragic news which has sent everybody in absolute shock. Because, this kind of a death, and he was very, very young. Sushant Singh Rajput was very young. He was appreciated across the fraternities and people. He came from serials, and he made a good name for himself in Bollywood fraternity as well. And Bollywood is something, as you were rightly mentioning, Shiv, he has always been an outsider. He was not really a Bollywood, a fraternity insider, an industry insider, but still he made his name, and he was appreciated just at an age of 34 years old by everybody in the fraternity. But and nobody could even imagine that he would take his life away like this, and he would leave too soon. And nobody had any clue of what he was going on.
Yes, Shiv, we are outside the post-mortem center of Cooper Hospital. Right here you can see that this is the place where the post-mortems take place, and soon, in some time, Sushant Singh Rajput's body will be brought in here for the post-mortem. And at this point of time, it's in the casualty department of the Cooper Hospital where the formalities are being conducted. Post-mortem will remain critical. There will be some kind of body injuries because he has committed suicide and it's an unnatural death. And what was his intake before the suicide taking place and things like that. So these are the details, biological details, physical details which will come out in the post-mortem. And Mumbai police will not keep any stone unturned, given that it's a suicide case of an actor. They'll have to investigate each and every angle which is coming out of this story, and each and every person who was in touch with him, and they'll have to explore all the angles as to why he has taken this step and what was his mental state just before this incident had taken place. There was one person, we are being told, one actor who he had called last night, around midnight, and that person didn't take his call. Who was this person? There were some people who had spent time with him last night. So these are the people who will have to come out. Their statements will be taken, and further investigations will take place. At this point of time, the body is at the Cooper Hospital, and in some time the post-mortem will take place. And given extra precautions, the Mumbai police may decide to videograph the entire post-mortem so that there is evidence and there is forensic evidences available, which is done in high-profile cases, which is likely to happen in this case. And in an hour or so, we'll have an update whether the post-mortem has been completed or not. Back to you, Chef.
Okay, so the post-mortem is being conducted as we speak. We will have more clarity in just a short while about whether on when the last rites may happen. We also do know that his family members are likely heading to Mumbai very, very shortly. 34 years old Sushant Singh Rajput hanged himself, and the investigation is currently on. Want to bring Sushant Mehta, our entertainment editor, back in on this. Sushant, Shah Rukh Khan has tweeted. Several other Bollywood stars have also tweeted uniform shock over the death of young Sushant Singh Rajput.
Yes, Shiv, everybody from Shah Rukh Khan, Ajay Devgan, Karan Johar, Akshay Kumar, Hrithik Roshan, the who's who of the industry, Ekta Kapoor, everyone extremely shocked, extremely disturbed. But I think right now, everybody in Hindi cinema and Indian cinema needs to realize that this is a huge problem. The problem, depression, loneliness, anxiety, panic attacks, all these issues are the ones which are haunting even our top celebrities today. Most of them have already openly spoken about it. They've dealt with it, but we cannot be in denial anymore. This is a very, very serious matter now, and it's nice. Sushant Singh Rajput is the biggest example. In his prime, okay, his career graph dipped a bit, but he still delivered a huge blockbuster in 2019. For a 34-year-old guy, top of his game, earned so well, was giving huge amounts of money for charity, did everything that one can imagine of doing. You know, in their entire lifetime, this guy has done it in 34 years of age. But still, for him to go down this really dark path and to end his life, what are the reasons? You know, depression, loneliness. What are these little cliques in Bollywood? Even some high, very publicized affairs. How do you handle all of this? How do you come out of this stronger? Are there groups which are willing to talk to each other? Do actors have these chains where you can support each other? These things really need to be looked into.
Yes.